Sorry about that, folks. We missed the top half of the first inning. There were a few technical difficulties. Looks like it was a problem with the stadium Wi-Fi, but we're up on a different Wi-Fi server now, so everything is fully operational. And let's fix the score bug there. So now heading into the bottom of the first inning. Starting off the game, the Silversmiths went down 1-2-3 as Riley Grun worked through them very quickly. Let's give you the starting lineup for the Onondaga Flames as they come up to their first turn around the order. Batting first, playing shortstop, is McLean O'Connor. Batting second in center field is Adam Gordon. Batting third, playing left field, is Brian Hart. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Mike Netzel. Batting fifth, Colin Matthews, playing right field. Batting sixth behind the dish is Trace Peterson. Batting seventh at third base is A.J. DiFilippo. Batting eighth, playing first base, is Corbin Paxton. And batting ninth, playing second base, is Mike Ruggiero. And it'll be Ryan Cooper on the mound for the Sherrill Silversmiths. He's faced the Flames once this season. He's an okay pitcher, relatively good for this Silversmith staff, a 3.50 ERA in 5 starts, a 1-2 record coming into today. As McLean O'Connor gets ready to step into the box to step up for his first at-bat, start the turnaround the order for the Onondaga Flames.
And this is someone that the Sherrill Silversmiths definitely don't want to have to let up a big night against because he's had that 2 home runs last time he faced his team.
First pitch fastball from Ryan Cooper, a strike down the middle, so quickly behind in the count 0-1 for McLean O'Connor. Both of them rocket shots down the right field line over the short porch in right field at Noyes Park as O'Connor shows bunt but pulls back as that one misses low for ball 1. So now 1-1 count here to O'Connor. The corner infields are playing in, anticipating another bunt. It's rocketed right back to the pitcher. It rebounds over towards the shortstop, Robert Armitage, but he can't get a glove on it. And so getting in there to start this one off with an infield single is McLean O'Connor. And quickly we'll give you the defensive alignment for the Sherrill Silversmiths. From left to right in the outfield, it's Matt Krause, Reese Armitage, and Matt Elliott. From right to left in the infield, it's Chris Turco, Nate Cormier, Robert Armitage, and Sean Doherty. And Alex Stroshine is catching balls and strikes for Cooper behind the plate. Brings up the number 2 hitter, Adam Gordon, with a runner on first. Nobody out. Still no score here as the Flames got on with a quick hit to start the inning.
Adam Gordon's another home run threat. He hit a bomb last night, Brandon.
A rocket shot down the right field line. We'd been waiting to see a home run from him as the first pitch is a cold strike on the inside corner, and the count's 0-1. This is the same home plate umpire as last night. A quick observation from last night, he was not afraid to call the corners, specifically with pitchers. A very pitcher-friendly ump, as a pickoff attempt for McLean O'Connor over at first is no good. He gets back in there safely. Gordon among the top hitters on this team now with 8 extra base hits with the home run. It's chopped on the ground towards second, could be 2. Easy hop for Cormier, flips to second for 1, but getting in there ahead of a possible throw is Adam Gordon as Robert Armitage gloves it over at second base. McLean O'Connor will return to the Flames dugout, but it's still 1 away with a runner on base for the Onondaga Flames. That brings up the 3-hitter Brian Hart, who's playing left field for the first time today, had only played around the infield so far this season, mostly at second and third.
Experimentation going on for the Onondaga Flames, and we'll see if the experiment pays off.
First pitch to Hart is a breaking ball, gets caught out in front. Cooper pulled the string on him there, and Brian Hart couldn't hold back in the count's 0-1. Early go for Adam Gordon. The throw to second is not in time. Not sure what the call is here. It looks like it might have been a balk, and so he's safe regardless.
Oh, it looks like he's in some pain.
Adam Gordon struggling over there on the second base bag, still not getting up, currently on his hands and knees, as head coach Mike Cordero goes on to check on his center fielder. And now the trainer going out there to Gordon. He's now on his feet on his own power. Looks like he might be grabbing his wrist.
Yeah, it looks like he's holding that left wrist right now, Brandon. Maybe when he slid into the bag. Again, sometimes when you're trying to reach both hands out like that, you can jam one of your wrists up against the turf or maybe even into the bag.
It could be one of his thumbs. He did slide into the bag head first there, as Brian Hart still waiting in the batter's box with an 0-1 count. Stroshine, the catcher, quickly conference with his pitcher, as Cordero and the team trainer still checking on Adam Gordon out at second base. The bases umpire checking in on the conversation there. Gordon would be an essential guy to lose, but looks like he's not getting lost here as Cordero and the trainer are returning to the dugout, and Gordon's still standing there on second base, so he'll stay in the game.
Yeah.
And the Flames have a runner in scoring position with one away here in the bottom of the first.
Well, thankfully, Brandon, his replacement would probably be Jack Cherno, who's not too shabby himself, so either way, they'd be okay in center field, but thankfully, Adam Gordon looks to be okay.
And the pitcher, Ryan Cooper, was talking with the home plate umpire about what appeared to be a balk call, so that will not be an advance on a stolen base. He ran and forced a balk on Ryan Cooper. And so it'll stay an 0-1 count here to Brian Hart. Gordon now on second base. The 0-1. Chopped on the ground, foul down the third base line. Attempt to grab it in the third base coaching box by head coach Mike Cordero, but he couldn't quite get a hand on it. So the count's 0-2.
Hard to get a hand on it when you're Brian Hart ripping it down the left field line. He just has so much power behind that bat.
Brian Hart, a stellar player, a pair of home runs on the year, including one in the last matchup against the Silversmiths. 0-2's chopped on the ground towards third, fielded on the run by Doherty. He shoots it over to first in time. Gordon trying to advance to third, and he's going to get tagged out trying to advance on the ground ball. So gutsy attempt by Gordon to advance there, but no good as the side is retired without the Flames getting on the board. Heading into the top of the second, still no score at OCC Stadium. Top of the second inning here at OCC Stadium. The Flames and the Sherrill Silversmiths still tied at no score heading into this one. Riley Glenn disposed of the first three hitters in the Silversmiths order, 1, 2, 3, and it'll be the cleanup hitter Chris Turco to lead off this inning. Turco, a very big bat for the Silversmiths, 7 home runs, leads the league in the category. The first pitch is cut on and missed on the fastball outside, and the count's quickly 0-1. Riley Glenn didn't get a strikeout in that first inning, but he's in the top 5 in the league in that category. 0-1 fastball catches the inside corner. Turco didn't like that call. He'll step out of the box, and the count's 0-2.
And I think if Riley had a better performance in Game 1 against the Cortland Crush, he might have been able to sneak into the All-Star game.
He did not make the All-Star roster. The Flames have 3 in that game, and Keon Taylor, Jimmy Flayhive, and Nick Garcia. 0-2 pitch from Glenn is ripped up the middle, and that'll drop in shallow center for a base hit. Turco rounds around first, but he'll put on the brakes. There was no chance he's going for 2 there, and it'll be a no-out single here to start off the inning for the Silversmiths. Turco not really a threat to steal there on first base, but now it's Robbie Armitage coming up to bat for his first plate appearance of the game. Armitage hitting above 300 on the season, a very successful hitter out of Marist College. Turco taking a short lead. First pitch in the dirt. Peterson able to cover that one behind home plate. And since we weren't able to give it to you in the first half of the first inning, let's give you the defensive alignment. Left to right in the outfield, it's Brian Hart, Adam Gordon, and Colin Matthews. Right to left in the infield, it's Corbin Paxton, Mike Ruggiero, McLean O'Connor, and A.J. DiFilippo. Trace Peterson's calling balls and strikes. And the pitch is in the dirt on the 1-0, so now 2 balls and no strikes here to Robbie Armitage. Armitage on this team along with his twin brother Reese, who popped out to third base in the top half of the first. 2-0. Ripped down the right field line, but well into foul territory. That one close to the fence. in the vast foul grounds here at OCC Stadium, and the count's 2-1.
And we have an injury update on Jake Surratt, don't we, Brandon? What's the status of him?
So Jake Surratt has a concussion, apparently. He'll be out for a couple weeks. He is not home yet, but he will soon be heading home. There is a replacement for him on the roster, as he was only one of 2 catchers we had available, and we'll let you know who that is when we know, because we have not been cleared on who that is. A pickoff attempt over at first to try to get Turco, but he gets back to the bag safely. So it's a 2-1 count here in a tie ball game, no score. Runner on first, no one away. Another pickoff attempt is no good, and Turco again getting back safely. Armitage, a right-handed hitter against the right-hander Riley Glenn. Middle infield playing close to second base, anticipating a double play opportunity. That one's ripped right back up the middle and drops in front of Adam Gordon for a base hit. So now 2 runners on with no one away here for the Silversmiths, and they're getting on base early here.
Yes, they are. Back-to-back singles surrendered by Riley Glenn, and now he's got to find which pitches that he can throw that aren't going to give up a base knock.
And now Matt Fitzgerald coming up for the Sherrill Silversmiths. Fitzgerald, one of the better hitters, hitting close to 400 on the season for the Silversmiths squad. Also known to be a gutsy player. When there was a rain delay between these two teams that ended up getting postponed, he slid on the wet tarp in full catcher's gear. First pitch, Fitzgerald, a cutter that catches the outside corner. So the count quickly 0-1 here to Fitzgerald. Corbin Paxton playing close in at first base, anticipating a possible bunt. A logical scenario here is that would advance 2 runners into scoring position with 1 away should it be successful. 0-1 is chopped on the ground between third and short. A diving Ruggiero can't stop it, and it's a base hit. It was actually McLean O'Connor at shortstop. He can't make the stop, so now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the second inning, and the Flames in real danger of allowing the first run of the ball game here.
And that's why Robert Andrews is going to go out to speak with Riley Glenn, and Riley really can't be upset with anyone in the infield. It's just on him. He's throwing pitches that are hittable, and the Sherrill Silversmiths are taking advantage of it. You have to remember, last time these two teams met, Sherrill was absolutely embarrassed by the Flames, so they're trying to get revenge and get on the scoreboard here early.
That one on Monday, a 15-2 win in only 5.5 innings of play between these two teams. It was going to be a 7-inning game regardless since it was part of a doubleheader. The remainder of that game was rained out, and then the second game again got postponed, so it'll now be a doubleheader on the 20th of July. And as the mound meeting disperses, everyone goes back to their positions, and Robert Andrews goes back to the dugout. It's going to be Matt Krause up to bat for the Silversmiths.
See what he has in store. I mean, Robert Andrews is preaching positivity out on the mound. Hopefully his positive message gets through to Riley Glenn, as he desperately needs one here with bases loaded.
Entire infield playing as far in as humanly possible. Corners close to the infield grass. Middle infield a little further back in double play depth. The first pitch to Krause misses in the dirt. The count's 1-0. Krause, a near 300 hitter out of American International College, a teammate of the Flames' very own Jimmy Flahive. One of 3 players on the Silversmiths roster from American International. 1-0. Off speed, catches the outside corner, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike to Matt Krause. Krause trying to get the Silversmiths on the board here with bases loaded, nobody out, and no score here in the top of the second. Riley Glenn operating out of the stretch. And he winds and deals the 1-1. Another dirt ball, that one about a 58-footer. And now that counts 2 balls and a strike to Matt Krause. Riley Glenn seems to have some problem with keeping control of the pitches he wants out of the zone.
Yeah, and last time we've seen him lose control was against Cortland, and he surrendered some runs and didn't have the best performance. So he has to bounce back here quickly.
Seems to be having trouble with that breaking pitch today, but you have to maintain confidence in all of your pitches regardless of how well they're working for you. 2-1 fastball misses low again, so 3 balls and a strike. Riley Glenn a ball away from walking in the first run of the ball game.
And that's not the ideal start Riley wanted to have to this game. He also has to be careful not to throw a wild pitch so Trace Peterson get a glove on it and doesn't score a run that way either.
So it's Chris Turco on first base, Robbie Armitage on second, and Matt Fitzgerald on first. Turco's on third base, my apologies, and that one misses. Actually catches the lower third, and the count's full at 3-2. Matt Krause was already walking to first base, had me fooled, as a matter of fact, and the count's full at 3-2. The first run for the Silversmiths not coming in just yet.
Home plate umpire, there's a delayed strike call there, and we saw it on that last pitch.
Riley Glenn, the payoff. Fastball misses outside for ball 4, so the first run of the game is walked in by Riley Glenn, and the game is now a 1-0 lead for the Silversmiths. Not the great second inning that Riley Glenn was looking for here, as he's now gotten 4 straight runners on base, 3 on base hits, and now the Flames are behind 1-0 with Alex Stroshine coming up to bat. Stroshine, a struggling hitter for the Silversmiths team, as the first pitch fastball is a cold strike, and the count's 0-1. Stroshine hitting a measly 36 on the season. That may sound inaccurate or incomplete, but no, his batting average is 36. The 0-1 misses low and away, so the count's 1-1 strike. He's only had 1 hit and close to 30 at-bats this season.
1 for 28 to be exact.
So it's a 1-1 count to Stroshine, trying to pad the lead after the Silversmiths go out in front 1-0 in the top of the second, still with the bases loaded. The 1-1 is a called strike on the outside corner, so he's behind the count 1-2.
You can tell his confidence is low. Just look at his the way he sets up in the box. It just doesn't look like he's even trying to swing the bat.
For a lot of players, it's once you get on a roll or once you get a pair of hits, you really get your confidence back. He just hasn't found it yet this year. And the 1-2 breaking ball is fouled back towards the netting behind home plate, so the count's going to stay at 1-2. Stroshine made good contact, but got a little bit under that one as that one went straight back. Corbin Paxton at first base playing very close to the infield grass. Half his feet actually on the infield grass over there by the first base bag. Glenn from the stretch, the 1-2. Fastball misses outside, so the count's evened up at 2-2 strikes to Stroshine, who's had his fair share of trouble getting on base as well. His on-base percentage isn't necessarily bad. It's above 300, but still not fantastic for him on the year when you compare it to his batting average. 2-2. Fastball misses in the dirt, and the count's now worked full to 3-2. Riley Glenn again in danger of walking in a run.
Stroshine has collected 10 walks in the season, but he's also struck out 15 times. It's make or break time here for Riley Glenn.
Glenn with 3 runners on base behind him and a full count to Alex Stroshine, the payoff. Fastball's fouled right back to the fence behind home plate. So the count's going to stay at 3-2, and Stroshine lives to see another pitch as Glenn going to have to labor even more here. His pitch count's got to be running up this inning. This is not what he was anticipating coming into tonight.
Absolutely not.
So now it's Armitage on third base, Fitzgerald on second, and Matt Krause at first. The payoff misses high for ball 4. Riley Glenn really didn't like that call, but another run gets walked in for the Silversmiths. It's now a 2-0 ball game. Tough start here to this inning for Riley Glenn. He's now allowed 2 runs on 3 hits with still nobody out here. The first pitch to the 9-hitter, Matt Elliott, is a called strike on the outside corner, so at 0-1 here. Elliott, another decent hitter on this team, but isn't showing it in this NYCBL season, hitting around 120. As the 0-1's ripped down the first base line, a diving Paxton can't get a hold on it. That's a base hit. 1 run comes around to score. Coming around from third is Krause, and a wild throw in from right field. And that doesn't allow any more damage, but still 2 runs here on the RBI single and an advance on a throwing error. It's now 4-0 Silversmiths, and this is just getting out of hand for the Flames.
Yeah, we know Colin Matthews has a huge arm, Brandon, but that is not the way you want to use it as he overthrows the cutoff man. I believe it was A.J. DiFilippo, but overthrew him by a mile, and the ball almost bounced into the bullpen, or the dugout, I should say.
So now a 4-0 lead here for the Sherrill Silversmiths. Riley Glenn looking to get it together here. It looks like it's going to be some action in the Flames bullpen as some players are starting to walk out there. We'll tell you who it is when we know who is getting warmed up. And Glenn operating on the stretch with 2 in scoring position as the first pitch misses inside for ball 1. So that's 2 RBIs for Matt Elliott on the single. And he's now on second base with Stroshine in front of him at third. 1-0. Breaking ball just hangs up there high in the zone, and the count goes to 2-0.
Looks like that's Casey Kretsch warming up right now in the bullpen if he is going to come in to relieve, or maybe he's just getting his arm loose.
Talking to Coach Cordero before the game, that Kretsch is gearing up to pitch. They want to use him on Monday. He was set to come in the 6th inning, but the game got rained out as the 2-0's calling a miss way outside to Nate Cormier, the top of the order, and the count's now 2-1.
And it's just a shame for Riley because he's usually so solid on the mound, but again, tonight might just not be his night.
And so now the 2-1. Fastball catches the outside corner. Nate Cormier watched that one sail by, and the count's even at 2-2. So far, the Silversmiths have put up a 4 spot this inning. Still nobody out for them. And the 2-2 is fouled back over on top of the press box, and the count stays at 2-2. So Glenn's still working at a tough spot here. His pitch count going well over 30 by this point. A 2-2 count here to Cormier at the top of the order. The pitch fouled back again towards the backstop. A lot of these Silversmiths hitters really fighting to stay alive in these at-bats, so the count's still 2-2. Reese Armitage, the center fielder, waiting on deck. Flames trying to escape out of this one without more damage. Still set to be a challenge with 2 in scoring position. Still no outs. 2-2. Chopped on the ground towards first. Paxton will take it to the back himself for the out, but that'll drive in a run as Alex Stroshine comes around to score. So an RBI unassisted third at first base, rather. And so one away here in the inning, but now it's a 5-0 ball game. And that brings up Reese Armitage. Armitage popped out to third base his first time up. He has a runner on third base with 1 away. First pitch is a called strike on the upper third, and the count's 0-1. So with 1 away and a runner on third, a deep enough fly ball should be enough to score that run for the 6th of this inning. But also a hit will do, as the 0-1 is a cutter that catches the inside corner now, so 0-2 here to Reese Armitage. Armitage, a left-handed hitter against the righty Riley Glenn. Trace Peterson setting up outside the 0-2. Fastball misses way outside. Riley Glenn wanted to paint the corners there, but he couldn't quite do that, and so the count's 1-2. Infield shifted to the right for the left-handed hitter. McLean O'Connor, the shortstop, playing closer to the second base bag, and the second baseman Ruggiero playing in shallow right field. The 1-2 is called strike 3. Reese Armitage checked his swing, but it's a called strike nonetheless. So the first strikeout of the night for Riley Glenn, and now finally 2 outs for the Onondaga Flames, and a chance to get out of the inning here, with Sean Doherty being the 9th hitter of this inning with 2 away here.
Talk about too little too late perhaps for Riley Glenn. He's finally able to strike out his first batter of the evening, but already surrendered 5 runs. The Flames have a lot of work to do now.
Doherty, his first at-bat, grounded out to second as the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Owen from Glenn. Fastball misses outside. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Riley Glenn in a tough spot here. A lot of pitchers like to have short memory spans and stay very focused, but Riley Glenn's a very nonchalant guy. He's a guy who likes to stay relaxed under every circumstance as the 1-1's fouled back towards the screen, and so the count's 1-2. As I've been saying, Riley Glenn, he's just a casual personality. He just, where a lot of other guys would retreat, wear a hoodie, play their own music, and not talk to anybody ahead of a start, Riley Glenn's just like another guy another player in the dugout, chatting up teammates, being fully conversational. As the 1-2 is a breaking ball misses outside, the count's 2-2. He doesn't retreat into himself. He's just like any other player in the dugout, except he's going out and manning the team on the mound that night. 2-2. Breaking ball just misses high, so a full count here to Sean Doherty with 2 away. Doherty with a base hit could bring in the 6th run of the inning for the Silversmiths that's standing on third base in Matt Elliott. Payoff. Ripped back up the middle, and that'll get through for a base hit. A 2-out hit to drive in another run for the Silversmiths this inning. It's now 6-0. This is really getting out of hand.
It sure is. Just like that, Riley Glenn thought he was getting out of the inning, and now some more work to do as he needs to collect another out to get out of this.
So the Silversmiths have now batted around this inning, and that'll bring up Chris Turco for his second at-bat. He singled to lead off this inning and came around to score when Matt Krause walked with the bases loaded. First pitch to Turco, skied high into the right side, well into foul territory, so Corbin Paxton at first and Colin Matthews in right will just watch that one sail away, and the count's 0-1. Turco has a runner on first base, 2 away in the top of the second. Silversmiths have managed to give themselves a 6-0 lead on 5 hits. Runner goes, pitch misses outside. The throw down to second is well in time, and Sean Doherty is gunned down trying to steal second. That finally ends the inning for the Flames, but not after the Silversmiths were able to put up 6 runs on 5 hits, and at the end of 1.5 innings of play, a 6-0 Silversmiths lead. Bottom of the second inning now at Onondaga Community College Stadium. Mike Netzel leading off in the cleanup spot for the Flames after the Silversmiths put up a 6 spot in the top half. First pitch is a cold strike, a fastball right down the middle of Netzel, and the count's 0-1. Netzel was a starting pitcher for the Flames last night as the 0-1 pitch misses low and the count's 1-1. Netzel had by far his strongest outing of the season. 6 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. And the 1-1 from Cooper misses way outside. Stroschein miraculously able to leap and keep that one from getting to the backstop. The count's 2 balls and a strike.
I think Mike Netzel last night with that performance, he was able to solidify himself as definitely a reliable starting pitcher at some point in this season.
2-1s fouled back towards the netting behind home plate, so the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, I was talking to him before the game, and he was talking about how getting back into the lineup after a long outing, and he goes down on strikes as he cuts and misses at the outside fastball, and he's down on the strikeout. There's 1 away for Cullen Matthews. Netzel really just talks about how you have to really suck it up and just get back out there, even though half your body is probably sore to death from a long outing on the mound. So Cullen Matthews will come up for the first time after Netzel goes down on strikes. He 2-hops that one over to second. Cormier fields that one easy, fires it over to first, and a quick 2 outs here for the Silversmiths here in the bottom of the second.
And it's a taste of their own medicine. The last time the Flames were on the other side of this story, now the Silversmiths are having their turn in a blowout right now.
And so the 6-hitter Trace Peterson, who's playing catcher tonight, coming up with 2 away. First pitch to him is in the dirt inside, so the count's 1 ball and no strikes with 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Now the Silversmiths out in front 6-0. The 1-0 from Cooper. Fastball misses inside, so 2 balls and no strikes here to Trace Peterson. A hitter's count with 2 away. Peterson, a strong hitter, getting back in a groove close to 300 now after a slow start. As that fastball misses low and away, the count's now 3 balls and no strikes. Time is called here on the field as some Flames players are instructed to get back in the dugout. The 3-0 to Peterson catches the lower third of the strike zone. He's going to stay in the batter's box. The count's now 3 balls and a strike. Cooper trying to set down the Flames 1-2-3 to 3-1. Misses low and inside for ball 4, so they won't go down 1-2-3. And Peterson will stand on first base with 2 away, and that brings up A.J. DiFilippo, the 7-hitter.
And sometimes, Brandon, just collecting a walk like that can start a fire underneath the Flames, and hopefully that's what will happen here with A.J. DiFilippo in the box.
So it'll be the lefty A.J. DiFilippo against the right-hander Cooper with 2 away here. And Cooper deals the first pitch, a fastball outside. The count's 1-0. Flames really trying to get back into this ball game after the Silversmiths put a 6 spot up in the top half of the second inning. The 1-0 skied high into the left side, drifting into foul territory, taking a few steps back, is the third baseman Sean Doherty, and he makes the catch on the hop, and he retires the side. Flames don't go down 1-2-3, but it's a quick inning for the Silversmiths in the field. Heading into the top of the third, the Flames trail 6-0.
Welcome back to OCC Stadium here in the top of the third inning. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Brandon Ross, and the Flames are in a bit of a sticky situation here, trailing 6-0 here to the Cheryl Silversmiths. Stepping into the box, this is Chris Turco, the first baseman, who was up to bat the last time around. He almost had 2 attempts at the plate, but there was a member that was caught stealing. That was the third out of the inning. That first pitch misses low for ball 1 on Chris Turco. Riley Glenn still on the mound. He just threw his 57th pitch of the evening. Had a 44-pitch last inning, correct?
Yeah, 44 pitches. Certainly not what you want.
Definitely not what you want if you're Riley Glenn, and it's just one of those situations. Let's see if he can work through it, though. Count evens up at a ball and a strike here on Turco coming into this game, batting a .333. This one cut on and missed, and now it's a 1-2 count for Chris Turco, the first baseman. It's according to their point streak stats, which could be a little bit off. Correct, Brandon?
Yeah, they're still having problems uploading the stats from the game on Monday and from their game last night, as a matter of fact.
That one's cut on and missed, and now Riley Glenn has his second strikeout of the ball game.
Chris Turco very upset at that one. He certainly wanted to rip another solid hit after a good single back in the second inning.
So the stats that we do give you from these guys could be a little bit off, but it's only 2 games, so again, it's still in the same ballpark of...
Also worth noting, our stats may be wrong as well, considering the game on Monday was against us.
Right, exactly.
We've tried our best to calculate those in and integrate the stats, but it may not work.
First pitch cut on down the right field line, but it's going to go foul for Robert Armitage. But, yeah, so the stats that we're giving you should be as close as possible, so hopefully if... this should be fixed here in the next day or so. But this is Robert Armitage coming into this ball game batting a .338. 0-1 count on him from Riley Glenn as he gets the sign from Peterson and delivers the 0-1. Pitch bouncing in the turf. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And like Brandon mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Riley Glenn's really a relaxed guy. a really great personality on this team. Doesn't take anything too serious, but right now he's in a bit of a jam after surrendering a couple of runs. This pitch gets away from Peterson, pass ball, and now the count goes to 2-1. On Robert Armitage, the twin brother of Reese Armitage. 26 for 77 coming into this ball game. 18 RBIs, 14 strikeouts. Has collected 17 walks as well. The 2-1. Just outside. Now the count goes to 3-1 here on Robert Armitage, the starting shortstop for the Silversmiths. As Riley is just still battling through it. Looks like Casey Kretsch still warming up in the bullpen. This one cut on. Corbin Paxton diving and missing, so it's going to get down for a base hit. And just like that, Riley Glenn has surrendered hit number 6 in this ball game, and he's just trying to throw some pitches that haven't been seen. But at this point in the ball game, I mean, Riley can only go as far as his arm allows them to, and as well as the coaching staff. So we'll see when Casey Kretsch makes his appearance. But Matt Fitzgerald's going to dig his spikes into the batter's box now to get a rip at this thing. Pitch almost gets away from Peterson's way outside for ball 1. Fitzgerald had a single in the last time he was up in the second inning, came around to score one of the 6 runs. Part of that hitting spree the Silversmiths had. 1-0 count. Runner on first is Robert Armitage. The 1-0. This one cut on down the right field line, but it's going to go out of play for a foul ball. Count evens up at a ball and a strike on the designated hitter out of Utica College. Plays some catcher as well, but Fitzgerald coming into this ball game, second on the team in batting average with a .380. 19 for 50, so technically now, according to the stats, he'd be 24-51. The 1-1, he's going to watch it blow by for a strike, and now Riley Glenn's in a good position. 1-2 count, could collect his 3rd strikeout of the ball game with this next pitch. Try not to surrender any more hits or runs as the Flames have their work cut out for him. Glenn gets to sign the 1-2. This one cut on right up back towards the middle. McLean O'Connor with a diving grab, guns it to first, and he got him. He's out at first place. Beautiful play by McLean O'Connor, and that's just the type of energy and effort we're used to seeing all night long from McLean.
I was talking to Coach Cordero before the game. He was talking about, since O'Connor is right, he brings a certain intensity, a certain fire that not a lot of players on this Flames roster have, and you've seen it with a lot of his success last night and in the game on Monday against Sherrill.
Yeah, and even like interviewing him last night, you can tell that he's kind of a laid-back guy, but at the same time, I heard him talking to his teammates about the ball game last night, and he was talking strategy. This is post-game, folks. This is about 20 minutes after the game. He's still talking strategy, a play that he missed. I mean, he's really hard on himself, but made a beautiful diving grab there for Riley Glenn, and there's out number 2.
It's no surprise. He's playing D1 baseball in California.
Yes, sir. Matt Krause chops one down the third base line. DiFilippo guns it to first, and Corbin Paxton's unable to grab it. So he's going to reach on an E5. So an error made by the Flames first of the ball game. So an E5 is going to have Matt Krause on base, and now the Flames need to be careful as the runner's in scoring position. He's really close to home base now. It's Robert Armitage. Alex Stroshine is the next man up here for the Silversmiths. Reached on a walk, came around to score a run. It's an E3, not an E5, as Corbin Paxton was unable to make the play. The first pitch on Stroshine is in there for strike 1. But an E3 is going to allow the Flames, the Silversmiths, to continue their offensive fury here. This pitch is thrown back towards the first baseman. It's Corbin Paxton not in time, though, for Matt Krause, trying to check him over there at first. But as Brandon brought up earlier, Stroshine not having the best season so far with a 36 batting average coming into this ball game. And that pitch is going to miss low for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. He was able to grab a walk out of Riley Glenn last time he was in the batter's box. That's number 11 on the season for Stroshine. 1-1 count. Riley Glenn deals. This one cut on and missed. Huge cut there from Stroshine. He was going for the home run to unload the bases.
And if you're trying to do that at OCC Stadium, good luck. Gordon hit one last night for the 4th home run all year at this ballpark. And that's a record in and of itself.
Right. Stroshine has no doubles, no triples, no home runs either, as he fakes to third and checks back to first as Riley Glenn not in time. Just keeping him honest there at first base. Counts 1-2 here with 2 away. Runners on first and third for the Silversmiths. Flames trail the Silversmiths 6-0 here in the top of the third inning. The 1-2 delivered from Riley Glenn. This one chopped foul down the left field line. And we'll do the 1-2 count one more time. But Riley Glenn not having the best start. We've seen him have slow starts down in Cortland. It wasn't the best one. And then again here tonight, surrendering six hits already into this ball game here in the top of the third inning. See if he can get out of it. The 1-2 inside, but just missing the inside corner is going to be Riley Glenn. Now the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Runners on first and third. Riley checks on the runner at first. That's Matt Krause, who reached on an error. Glenn, the 2-2. Way outside. Now the count goes to full. Riley Glenn's in trouble here. He could lose Alex Stroshine after having him down in a 1-2 count here. 2 straight balls will do it. Now it's a full count for Riley Glenn, trying to get out of it. The Chapman University product. 3-2 payoff. Check back at first base. Before that, Matt Krause back safely in time. So, 3-2 payoff awaiting here. Alex Stroshine trying to stay alive and driving another run for the Silversmiths. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Peterson sets up, and the fake to third, back to first. Just a lob from Riley Glenn. Not really trying to gun him out there at first, just keeping him honest on the baseline. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away runners on the corners. See if Riley Glenn can collect strikeout number 3 on the evening here. 3-2. This one cut on and missed, and just like that, Riley Glenn escapes the jam, but no damage is done in that inning as gives up a hit or so, and an error is made. But the Flames get out of it, trailing 6-0. We'll be right back here on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium here in the bottom of the third inning. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Brandon Ross to give you the bottom of the third. Flames still trail 6-0 here, but Corbin Paxton will dig his spikes into the batter's box to get things going here in the bottom of the third inning. Corbin Paxton will be playing first base for the foreseeable future here as Jake Surratt has been diagnosed with a concussion, and Trace Peterson's most likely going to be the catcher here for the next few games. First pitch against Paxton's outside for ball 1. Coming into this ball game, Corbin is batting a 154, 6 hits on 39 at-bats, as that pitch misses outside for ball 2. Corbin does have some power behind that bat. Had the home run earlier. This pitch in there for strike 1, though. Corbin has 6 RBIs to his name. This one shot down to the second baseman over to first. It's Turco for out number 1. So a 4-3 play to start the bottom of the third inning. And Cormier to Turco connection. Now it's Mike Ruggiero coming up to the batter's box here. Ruggiero has seemed to struggle ever since he's returned from the hamstring pull, trying to get back into a rhythm at the plate, batting in the 9-hole here tonight for the Flames. Interesting walk-up song as well. This first pitch, missing low for ball 1. But Mike Ruggiero, the Wagner product, he's batting a 158 coming into this ball game, 6 for 38. This one, check swing, but he holds off, and it's going to miss outside for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0 here on Ruggiero. And the Flames just need to chip away to get back into this ball game. We've seen it a bunch of times. This pitch driven hard down the right field line, but foul. But the Flames are capable of scoring a bunch of runs in a hurry. They don't need to get all 6 of them back at once, but still could use at least 1 or 2 here to make this a reasonable game and give some pressure off of Riley Glenn. This pitch right back to Cooper. Should be easy pickings to Cooper to Turco for out number 2. Bringing us back to the top of the order, it's McLean O'Connor. And McLean O'Connor, very capable player. Ever since joining this team, he's really solidified himself as the team's shortstop. Made almost every single start since he's been with the team. He has a single in this game, so he's 1 for 1 on the evening so far. First pitch, this one that popped out to the third baseman, but it's going to bounce in the turf for strike 1. Looked like he caught it, but it must have bounced before that.
It was a bouncer right at front of home plate. It took a high bounce going closer to third base.
That would make sense. It looked like it was in the air the way I saw it, but
took a very high bounce, so I can't blame you there.
Just when you look down and you look up and you hear the bat and the ball connecting, you take your eye off for it for a second. The 0-1, this one popped up down the right field line, but it's going to go foul. And the count goes to 0-2 here on McLean O'Connor, the shortstop, coming into this ball game, batting a .319. Not too shabby. He had the game-winning RBI triple last night. And, man, this team was fired up trying to get win number 6 in a row here against Sherrill, but they're in a 6-hole count here themselves. This pitch driven hard right up the middle, and that's going to get down for a base knock from McLean O'Connor. So just like that, he's 2 for 2. And, again, this is one of the most consistent players on this team.
And as Coach Cordero was saying before the game, a lot of fire in his belly, a huge, intense player in McLean O'Connor.
Absolutely. It looks like a pinch hitter here now. It's Jack Chernow coming up the bat as Adam Gordon's night could be over. Just as I suspected, Brandon, Chernow would replace Adam Gordon in center field. So there's a switcheroo made as Adam Gordon slid in the second base and looked like he jammed up his wrist or his hand, perhaps. But Chernow's in the game now, and let's see what he has in store for the Flames. This guy is someone referred to as Steady Eddie on the team coming into this ballgame, batting at .286, 18 for 63. He has scored 19 runs himself. He's also collected 19 walks. McLean O'Connor is checked down at first base, but he's back in time. And McLean, he's a huge threat to steal. Obviously, with 2 outs, we'll also have to see how aggressive Mike Cordero is, but try to get him in scoring position.
I imagine with down 6 runs, it probably intensifies the aggressiveness.
As this one's chopped right back to Cormier, and it should be easy out, and it is. So there it is. He's going to connect with the shortstop. That's Armitage, but either way, Flames still yet to score a run in the ball game. Trail 6-0 to the Sherrill Silversmiths. We'll be right back here on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium as some changes have been made in the field and on the mound as Jack Chernow is officially subbed into the field. He's in center, subbing in for Adam Gordon. And now on the mound, the Lemoyne product, Casey Kretsch, is going to come in, relieving Riley Glenn. Riley Glenn's final stat lines, 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 Ks, and 2 walks. First pitch for Matt Elliott, cut on and missed down the left field line. Casey trying to come in here and stop the bleeding, if you will, as the Shell Silversmiths have scored 6 runs already in the ball game. But see how he can fare here. This one chopped down to Corbin Paxton. Should be easy pickings. He's going to take it himself, and there's out number 1.
Flames need more of that. Quick, easy outs. That's what's allowed them to be so effective with the pitching so far in these last few games. Just winning those easy situations and getting the easy outs, and also keeping the pitch counts down, getting outs very quickly as opposed to very easily.
This is Nate Cormier, the second baseman, who will be up to his 3rd at-bat on the ball game. Has the RBI on the U3. This pitch misses outside for ball 1, but Casey Kretsch has appeared in 6 games for the Flames. He's had 1 start, 11.1 innings pitched, has surrendered 9 hits, but has struck out 9 batters as well. The 1-0. Cut on down the left field line. This is DiFilippo, gunned over the first, and Corbin Paxton unable to make the play as a high throw is going to miss, and then Corbin Paxton's unable to make the tag or the play at the plate. And just like that, the second error of the ballgame has been made for the Flames.
And so that'll be an error on DiFilippo at third base. A wild throw and a gutsy attempt by Corbin Paxton. He was able to make the catch, and he tried to lay down the tag before Cormier was able to touch first, but he just couldn't quite reach him.
And exactly that. And now with 1 away here, Flames have the Silversmiths have a base runner, and Nate Cormier. This is Reese Armitage, the center fielder, up to bat next year. He's 0 for 2 on the evening so far. First pitch for Armitage in there for strike 1. But Reese Armitage trying to do his part here. He's batting slightly less than his brother at a .250 on the season. He's 17 for 68 coming into the ball game, has 11 RBIs. Couple extra base hits and a couple of home runs to his name. He has 3 home runs to be exact.
And the funny part is that Reese was the one who got all the playing time back at Marist. He got a good number of starts, while Robert only came in a few pinch run situations.
This pitch cut on, popped up here. Looks like it's going to go out of play as Nate Cormier had the stolen base on, but he's going to make the trot back, and now the count is 0-2 on Reese Armitage. But this is all about player development in the summer, so for the Armitage brothers, they're definitely developing nicely here for this Silversmiths team.
The Silversmiths only a couple games back of first place.
Casey Kretsch is going to surrender his first hit of the ball game as that one's ripped out into the field. Jack Chernow finally has the ball. Now going home is Nate Cormier. The play's at the plate. Peterson's unable to make the tag, and just like that, an RBI double, and then he's going to reach third base on the throw. But man, the Silversmiths just keep on scoring. It's now 7-0.
Certainly not what the Flames wanted out of this game, trailing by 7 runs in only the 4th inning. But if there's anything that can be said of this Flames team, it's that they don't quit. They've been down a good amount so far this season. They've even lost major leads. But even when their backs are against the wall, they have a sense of resilience that keeps pushing them forward.
And it's a lot of guys on this team that just have had their backs against the walls throughout their whole lives so far. And I'll get into that a little bit more here, as Sean Doherty is up to bat next for the Silversmiths. His first pitch in there for strike 1. He had the RBI single back in the second. He's 1 for 2. But, I mean, these guys have just faced adversity for most of their baseball careers. Look at Colin Matthews coming back from a gray shirt, and now he's succeeding in the outfield. This pitch is going to go right out to him, see if he can make the play, and he will for out number 2. Here's the throw home. And it's going to be not in time, as another run's going to score on the sacrifice fly from Sean Doherty. But going back to my point, I mean, these guys have had their backs against the wall multiple times throughout the season as well. I mean, take a look at Mike Ruggiero, who had the hamstring pull. He's been battling back since then. And then, obviously, everyone trying to get playing time as well. It's just always a constant battle to try to prove yourself on the field. This team, though, is in a huge hole now. It's 8-0, and we're in the top of the 4th inning. Chris Turco will be the batter Casey Kretsch faces next, and now the Flames dugout giving the home umpire some words, and he's not having any of it. Telling him to calm down, and he said that's it. But 1-0 is the count here on Chris Turco, the first baseman. He had a single back in the second inning, but he struck out last time he was up. This pitch just missing the outside corner, and now the count goes to 2-0 here on Chris Turco. But tossed. Someone has been tossed for the Flames. Not sure who. Someone has just been tossed. Let's see if Brandon Ross can get an eye on the guy, but it looks like Mike Cordero's coming out to have a word with him, as it could be head coach Mike Cordero that just got tossed. Not trying to figure it out, and Cordero is giving him a piece of his mind, so if he is getting tossed, man, these guys are face-to-face right now, and adversity is on the field. Here comes the second base umpire to get into things here. It looks like Mike Cordero might have been tossed.
So Coach Cordero was tossed after arguing with the home plate umpire. The complaint is you're supposed to give an official warning, and apparently the home plate umpire did warn Cordero. We did see that, but it was not an official warning. He didn't give the point marking an official warning, and after Coach Cordero kept jawing, he was tossed, and Coach Cordero was yapping at the home plate umpire about how it was not an official warning, and he can't really toss him without giving that official warning first.
This home plate umpire, I tell you, Brandon, this is probably the third or fourth time we've seen him this season. This guy is all business. I mean, if you say anything, he will toss you. He is quick to throw guys out, and just like that, the Flames are down 8-0. They just lost their head coach as well. And I mean, talk about this team facing adversity right here. This is adversity at its finest. I mean, the team is now going to be coached by Robert Anders, I assume, and we'll have to see as play should resume here shortly. But this team really is in a hole now, trying to battle back into this ball game, and Mike Cordero having some more words with the first base umpire as he jogs back to his spot, see if he actually takes off and gets out of the dugout or where he's going to be for the rest of this ball game.
Well, he's going to have to. You have to leave the dugout if you're ejected,
true.
So he'll probably either have to maybe go to his car. Or I don't know if he can watch from the stands. He might be able to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can. He just can't be anywhere near that dugout. And as you mentioned, it's probably Robert Anders taking over as head coach, and that because of that, you might see Will Chapman coaching first base again.
Good call. So we've seen Will Chapman be in that duty a couple, and the first base umpire is going to jog back to the dugout. And now the home plate umpire is still jawing at Cordero, telling me how to do my job. So these guys are clearly exchanging some words, some testosterone being displayed on the field between the two men. See if they can calm down here and get back underway. That's the thing about summer baseball, Brandon. High heat. I mean, it doesn't take much for a grown man to get a little bit upset no matter what the call is.
I'm sure anyone would be upset with this game, down 8-0 after being on a 5-game winning streak where it was a lot pounding. It was 40-run run differential over those 5 wins. And Coach Cordero still probably talking with the first base umpire, who's probably telling him he has to leave the field.
And it's just one of those things. It's unfortunate, but Robert Anders, man, I mean, I'm glad that he's getting his opportunity to be the head coach, because this guy, I mean, all the coaches, I should say, they all have a really good outlook on the game of baseball. But Robert Anders, especially, preaching positivity, never really seems to be too high or too low. And Mike Cordero still on the field, as you can hear the Sherrill faithful giving them their piece of their mind as well. But I mean, the game is still postponed here for a second as we're waiting for head coach Mike Cordero to get his exit. He's still trying to get an explanation of why he got tossed. And I guess he does deserve it. But at this point, when you've been tossed, Brandon, you can just keep saying as much as you want because it's already over for you. So just keep running your mouth, I guess.
That's what you call getting your money's worth. That's why
Yes,
you
sir.
see when a lot of major league managers, they get tossed from a ball game, they get their money's worth. They'll go out to every single umpire and give them a piece of their mind. They'll yell at them. They'll do whatever they want because they've already been ejected. If it applies, they'll already be fined. What they do from that point on really doesn't matter too much.
So Cordero is on his stroll out, and here is Chris Turco as play resumes. 2-0 count here on him. Cut on and miss. Beautiful pitch from Casey Kretsch to the Lemoyne product, and he's just trying to get in a groove on the mound and start collecting some outs as the Flames trail 8-0 here. This pitch, cut on and missed, back-to-back strikes for Casey Kretsch, and he's going right back to work quickly as trying to stick up for his head coach, who's just been ejected from the ball game, to 2-2. This one way outside. Count goes full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes here on Chris Turco. But head coach Mike Cordero, if you're just tuning in, is no longer with the team for the rest of this ball game. Robert Anders will be the head coach for the rest of the ball game. This payoff, cut on and missed. There is a strikeout victim, and just like that, Casey Kretsch gets strikeout number 1. But the damage is done, Brandon, as the Silversmiths have scored 8 runs now. Head coach Mike Cordero is gone, and now the Flames are in quite the hole. We're going to step aside, but we'll be right back here on Team Line. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames live stream here on Team Line as Robert Andrews goes out to get a better explanation from the home plate umpire. Mike Cordero, if you're just joining us, has been ejected from the ball game. Brandon Ross trying to get some more information on this right now, but it's me, Morgan Chapman, with a call here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brian Hart is the Flames batter who's up the bat. This one cut on, driven out the center field, but should be easy pickings for Reese Armitage, and it is for out number 1. So Mike Netzel will dig his spikes into the batter's box to try to get things going for the Flames. Flames have 2 hits on the ball game, but yet to score a run. It's 8-0 still here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And see if Mike Netzel can get his first hit of the ball game, as he was a strikeout victim the last time he was up. Brandon, what did you find out while you were away?
So quickly as that first pitch
is a strike.
Got to on one end. So it was apparently Cordero was just arguing balls and strikes. He was getting into a fight with the home plate umpire about those balls and strikes.
That pitch is going to be in there for strike 2. Count goes to 0-2.
And he got ejected for it, and there was no official warning, which is why Cordero was having a little back and forth with him, getting in the umpire's face. An official warning does not have to be issued. It's at the discretion of the umpire. But here's the key thing now, because Coach Cordero didn't leave the field after the ejection, he's probably going to get suspended for a game or 2 after this.
Oh, man, that's not what you want to hear if you're a Flames fan, but this third pitch, is missing low for a ball. Count goes to 1-2. But for Mike Cordero and the rest of the ball club, at least they're in good hands with Robert Anders. If he does miss some more time, this pitch is going to miss low again, and now the count goes to 2-2. So Robert Anders is now the head coach for the rest of this ball game, and we'll have to see if any more. Will Chapman is now the first base coach, and David Dennis is out there in the third base coaching's box, and this pitch misses low for ball 3. So 3 straight balls from Ryan Cooper, and just like that.
It doesn't surprise me that Robert Andrews is staying in the dugout. He's known to be the good bench coach. He also has to monitor the pitchers.
Right. That makes sense completely around the board. So 3-2 payoff from Cooper in there for strike 3. And just like that, the Flames are now 2 strikes into this, 2 outs into the bottom of the 4th inning with Colin Matthews stepping up into the box.
Mike Netzel had already tossed his bat and taken a few steps towards first base when he got rung up. The umpire's making a lot of late calls here, and it's really frustrating these Flames hitters. Probably why Coach Cordero was so upset.
Absolutely. That pitch is going to miss low and outside for ball 1 on Colin Matthews. But, I mean, Robert Anders is a great guy. He's a great coach as well. We've had a chance to get to know him throughout the rest of this season as this pitch is cut on back towards the screen. But, I mean, Robert Anders, he has a good idea, a good philosophy as a coach. He sure is. It's not going to be a huge drop-off because Mike Cordell is no longer in the building. But this pitch is going to miss low, and the count goes to 2-1 here on Colin Matthews. Colin Matthews had a ground out last time he was up back in the 2nd inning to Nate Cormier, the second baseman. 2-1 count with 2 away. This one chopped down the third base line. Should be easy pickings as Sean Doherty fires it over the first. And Colin Matthews beats it out. That's exactly what you do if you're the Flames trying to get back into this ball game. He's going to have a single to his name. You make hustle plays, Brandon. That's exactly how you get your team back into this ball game, and that's how you keep the energy up.
Colin Matthews now has reached base with another hit. He had a hitting streak coming into this game. It's now up to 8 games on that single. So stellar performance so far. And Colin Matthews also coming into this game with 4 multi-hit games in a row. So we'll see if he can get another one tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Trace Peterson is the man in the batter's box now for the Flames. 2 outs here. First pitch is a strike, so the count will go to 0-1 on Trace Peterson. But 2 outs, runner on first is Colin Matthews. Flames trying to rally as they trail 8-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning to the Silversmiths. This pitch is on the inside corner, but it's going to miss for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. But if you're just tuning in, you've missed all the action in this ball game. It's been an eventful one for sure, as Colin Matthews is checked down at first base back in time, though. Head coach Mike Cordero is no longer with the team for the rest of this ball game as he's been ejected, and the Flames have surrendered 8 runs already here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Peterson watches that fastball blow by, and it's going to be a strike, so the count goes to 1-2 on the Lake Erie College product here. The catcher for this foreseeable future as well for this team. 1 ball, 2 strikes, delivered, cut on, going to go foul as Dave Dennis hustles over to the ball, and count will stay at 1-2. But the strangest thing about Mike Cordell getting ejected is that he's usually a really level-headed guy. Like, he'll come out and talk to the umpires once in a while, but it's never that aggressive or angry. The 1-2 cut on and missed, and going down on a strikeout is Trace Peterson. So the Flames get their 3rd hit of the ball game, but leave one stranded. Still haven't scored a run, and Brandon Ross will be taking over play-by-play duties as we head into the top of the 5th inning.
Now the top of the 5th inning here at Onondaga Community College Stadium. Flames still trailing 8-0 against the Silversmiths. It's Casey Kretschall on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. In his 1st inning, he allowed 2 runs on 1 hit. And it'll be Robert Armitage leading off this inning. A grounder over to 3rd, and firing to 1st is A.J. DiFilippo, and he'll get the 1st out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out here for the Silversmiths, and that brings up Matt Fitzgerald, the designated hitter. Fitzgerald heading into this at-bat, 1 for 2 on the day. Single back in the 2nd, came around to score, and he grounded out to short back in the 3rd inning. Fitzgerald played catcher against this team a couple times, but the designated hitter tonight, as the first pitch is an off-speeder, misses inside, and the count's 1-0. 1-0 from Kretsch. That one's ripped into left center field. Running back to that one is the left fielder, Brian Hart, and he makes a catch on the run near the warning track, and it's 2 away here in the top of the 5th. So 2 quick outs here for the Onondaga Flames as it's 2 away on only 3 pitches for Casey Kretsch in this inning, and that brings up the left fielder Matt Krause, who comes into this at-bat 0 for 1. He's reached both times, a walk back in the second inning, and he reached on an error back in the third. First pitch from Kretsch, that one skied foul down the right side, and so the count's going to be 0-1 here to Krause. And the first time Krause walked, he drove in the first run of this ball game. 0-1, grounded over to third, scooped up on the run by A.J. DiFilippo, shoots over to first, and it's over the head of Corbin Paxton. It just tips off his glove and goes over towards the fence. And Krause advances to second base as A.J. DiFilippo commits another error for the Onondaga Flames. And so now the Silversmiths have a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
And that's the second time we've seen A.J. DiFilippo make a throwing error in the ball game, and it's just so unusual for him because he's usually a really solid player at third base.
Certainly not his night tonight. 2 errors for him now, and now Krause will be standing in scoring position on second base as Alex Stroshine goes up looking for his first hit. He reached on a walk back in the second inning, also driving in a run on the walk, and then he struck out swinging back in the third against Riley Glenn. Stroshine was the last hitter to face Glenn in this ball game. The first pitch is a curveball that hangs high, and the count's 1-0. Kretsch trying to avoid allowing the Silversmiths to compound the damage so far. The 1-0. Fastball misses high, count 2-0. The Silversmiths now have an 8-0 lead after putting a 2-spot up in the 4th inning. And now in the 5th inning, they have a runner on second base in scoring position with 2 away. 2-0. Ripped down the right field line. Hard contact, but foul. And so the count's 2-1.
And it's the weird thing about Stroshine with his batting average being so low. He has a nice swing. He's able to make solid contact, but just not in fair territory.
He just hasn't found the confidence yet this season. He hasn't had enough contact to get that confidence, the 2-1. Chopped on the ground down the third base line, fielded on the run by DiFilippo. He shoots it over to first. Another errant throw, but Corbin Paxton able to stay on the bag after reaching into foul territory behind first base. And that retires the side. A.J. DiFilippo gets a save from Corbin Paxton at first base. And heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, the Silversmiths still lead 8-0. Bottom of the 5th inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames still trailing 8-0. Flames able to hold the Silversmiths without a run in the top half, and it'll be A.J. DiFilippo to lead off as the first pitch is a fastball missing outside, count 1-0. DiFilippo popped out to third his first time up, and he's looking to avenge 2 throwing arrows in the field as that one's ripped right back at Ryan Cooper on the mound. It's going to get swatted by him, but A.J. DiFilippo reaches safely after that one gets scooped up by Cormier, but he can't get it to first in time, so an infield single to lead off for A.J. DiFilippo gets things started here for the Flames.
And DiFilippo needs to do everything he can to help himself out as he's made 2 errors in the field already in this ball game.
And so now DeFilippo standing on first with nobody out. It'll be another lefty and Corbin Paxton up to bat for the Flames. Paxton in his first at-bat, grounded out to second base. Paxton known to have a few extra base hits this year, a pair of triples down the power alley in left center, as the first pitch is a fastball missing high and outside. So 1-0 count here to Paxton to start this at-bat. DeFilippo with a big lead off at first base. That one gets skied high into the outfield. Giving chase to that one is Reese Armitage, and that lands over his head near the warning track. It's off the wall. Going to second base is Paxton. Rounding third is DeFilippo. He's going home. The throw to the plate is in time, and DeFilippo's gunned down trying to score. Gutsy call from third base coach David Dennis to try to send DeFilippo to score and get the Flames on the scoreboard, but he's gunned down, and the Flames have one away, and on that throw, Paxton able to advance to the third. He'll get a double, but no RBI.
And it's just an unfortunate circumstance, but if you're Dave Dennis, you can't regret that decision, Brandon, because the Flames need to do everything they can to get back into this ball game. Scoring a run would definitely have helped.
Another extra base hit for Corbin Paxton as Mike Ruggiero fouls the first pitch off in his second at-bat, and the count's 0-1. First time up, Ruggiero grounded right back out to Cooper. And Cooper out there on the mound for his fifth inning of work. If he leaves the ball game after this inning, he is eligible for the win, but not the loss. 0-1 count here to Ruggiero, the pitch. That one catches the lower third. Ruggiero watches that one go by, and the count's no balls and 2 strikes. Quickly working Cooper, the 0-2. Ruggiero reaches for that one outside and fouls it off over near the Silversmiths dugout. So the count stays at 0-2. Ruggiero, a questionable decision to swing, but he's able to stay alive. Cooper working out of the windup here, the 0-2. A dirt ball, only about 59 feet on that pitch, and the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you feel for Mike Ruggiero right now because he's just been struggling as of late. He's still trying to find a rhythm, but the way you get your rhythm back is getting an RBI single here.
1-2 fastball misses low and outside, so the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A better hitter's count here for Mike Ruggiero. 2-2 ripped on the ground down the right side. Diving stop by Nate Cormier. And gunned down at first is Mike Ruggiero. It brings out a run, and the Flames are on the scoreboard, but stellar defense by Cormier at second base.
Man, I mean, Cormier laying out, making a similar play that McLean O'Connor made earlier, but at least the Flames have finally scored their first run.
So they're on the board now. It's an 8-1 ball game. It's the top of the order in McLean O'Connor up for the Onondaga Flames with 2 away, and the base is empty. First pitch is an off-speed, catches the outside corner, and so the count 0-1 here to O'Connor, who singled in both his at-bats so far tonight. 0-1, caught on and foul, tipped right back into the catcher's mitts, so 0-2 here to O'Connor with 2 away. Time is called as O'Connor talking to the home plate umpire now. Looks like he's asking for pine tar, was getting permission from the home plate umpire.
I mean, this umpire is strict, huh?
Seems to be strict. If you call time, you're supposed to have time.
Yeah.
There really shouldn't be, I don't believe there's a limit on what reason you can call time for.
No.
I think that's perfectly legal, but questioning the decision there is the home plate umpire. But anyways, McLean O'Connor back in the box, and 0-2 count here on him. Ryan Cooper from the windup, he deals a fastball in the dirt, so the count 1-2 here. So now a better hitter's count here for O'Connor, but still in a 1-2 hole. The pitch from Cooper, another dirt ball, and the count's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A similar scenario to the last at-bat with Mike Ruggiero, who ended the at-bat grounding out to second on a stellar defensive play by Nate Cormier, though he did bring in a run on that play. It's an 8-1 ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Cooper deals the 2-2. A pitch that catches McLean O'Connor on the leg seemingly, but no call there. And the count's full at 3-2. Did you see it catch his jersey? I thought it did.
I thought it did too. Maybe it must have just missed him. It must actually have to make contact with his body. I don't know.
Anyways, the payoff is cut on in this. McLean O'Connor caught out in front, and that retires the side. The Flames get a run this inning, but they still trail by 7, 8-1, heading into the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th inning here at OCC Stadium. It's an 8-1 ball game after the Flames put up a crooked number in the bottom of the 5th. Jared Grosguth replacing A.J. DiFilippo at third base this inning in the field. And so Casey Kretsch still on the mound. The first pitch to Matt Elliott, the 9-hitter, misses outside. Counts 1-0. Elliott 1 for 2 so far. A 2-run single back in the second. And a ground out to first back in the fourth. The 1-0 fouled right back towards the netting behind home plate. So the count evens up at a ball and a strike on Elliott. Elliott, a left-handed hitter against the righty Kretsch, who is out for his third inning of work. 1-1. Driven deep to right field. Running under that one is Colin Matthews to his right, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So a long but simple first out for the Onondaga Flames to start the 6th, and it'll be the top of the order and Nate Cormier up with one away. Cormier so far not a lot of luck. He's 0 for 3. Ground out to second, a ground out to first, which did bring around a run. And then he did reach on a throwing error by A.J. DiFilippo, who has just been replaced by Jared Grosguth. First pitch, a breaking ball misses, and the count's 1-0. And on that play in the 4th inning, it was a wild throw by A.J. DiFilippo. Cormier came around to score. Another breaking ball catches the outside corner this time, so the count evens up at 1-1. Kretsch working a little bit quicker on the mound this inning than in innings past, the 1-1. Fastball way inside, just misses the hands of Cormier, so now 2 balls and a strike here to him. Grosguth playing a little closer to the infield grass, but everyone else playing back. The 2-1. Skied high to the left side, chasing that one in the shallow outfield is McLean O'Connor. He's called off by Brian Hart in left field, and he makes the catch for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down here this inning for the Onondaga Flames. It'll be Reese Armitage up with 2 outs for the Cheryl Silversmiths. He is 1 for 3 on the evening. An RBI double back in the 4th inning. Also a looking strikeout and a pop out to third base. First pitch to him is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. That's reflective of the strict home plate umpire's attitudes tonight. Very friendly to the pitchers, calling a lot of those corner pitches. 0-1 fastball again catches the outside corner, so Armitage quickly behind in the count 0-2. Kretsch here looking for what could be his second strikeout of the night, and he deals the 0-2. Breaking pitch misses low and inside, so a ball here to Reese Armitage. The count's now 1-2. And a 1-2-3 inning would be nice for the Onondaga Flames, who haven't gotten one yet in this ball game. The 1-2 misses outside on the fastball, so an even 2-2 count here to Armitage. The last 2 innings, the Flames have set down the Cheryl Silversmiths in 4 batters, but not yet 1-2-3. The 2-2 fouled down the left side over into foul territory, so still a 2-2 count here to Armitage. Casey Kretsch finally getting a turn on the mound. He'd been waiting all week. The game got rained out in the middle of the 6th inning on Monday. He was set to come in before the rainout, and he was getting ready for a long time yesterday against the Generals as the 2-2 misses way high and outside. Peterson able to glove that one, keep it from getting to the backstop, so a 3-2 full count here to Reese Armitage. Kretsch from the windup, the payoff. Breaking ball misses outside, ball 4. That one didn't cut the way he wanted it to, so he walks a runner with 2 away, and that brings up the 3-hitter, Sean Doherty, who's one of the best hitters on this team and in the entire NYCBL, hitting above 400 entering tonight's contest. So far, a good bit of luck tonight. 3 RBIs, 1 coming on a single and 1 coming on a sacrifice fly, so that's 2 RBIs. In his other at-bat, he grounded out to second base, that coming back in the 1st inning. First pitch fastball misses high, and the count's 1-0 here to Doherty. Doherty, one of the Cheryl Silversmiths players named to the All-Star team, one of 2, the other being the first baseman Chris Turco. The 1-0 from Kretsch, off speed, catches the outside corner, so the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Doherty, like most players, didn't make a lot of damage against the Flames the last time these 2 ball clubs faced on Monday. And before the 1-1, a pickoff attempt over at first base. Nothing is doing. And so the count's still 1-1 to Doherty. And Reese Armitage with a big lead off of first base with 2 away. Silversmiths still have a 7-run lead here in the top of the 6th. And the 1-1 is skied high into foul territory down the right side. Taking a few steps to his right is Corbin Paxton, and he parks under it to make the catch to retire the side. Not 1-2-3 for the Flames, but a quick inning for them. And heading into the bottom of the 6th, still an 8-1 Silversmiths lead. Bottom of the 6th inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames still trailing the Silversmiths 8-1 here. Able to hold the Silversmiths without a run in the top half of this inning, and it'll be the 2-hitter Jack Cherno to lead off this inning. Cherno came in back in the 3rd to pinch hit for Adam Gordon after Gordon had to leave the ball game due to an injury suffered on a nasty slide at second base. Must have tore up either his wrist or part of his thumb. So the first pitch here to Cherno to lead off the bottom of the 6th from Ryan Cooper is a ball that misses high, so the count's 1-0. Cooper out there for his 6th inning of work so far has held the Flames to only 1 run on 5 hits. No errors behind him in the field. The 1-0 is skied down the left side. That one looks like it's still in fair territory, but it curves foul down the left field line. It counts moves to 1-1. In Cherno's only plate appearance so far, he grounded into a fielder's choice, but that ended the inning as O'Connor was gunned down at second after he reached first on a 2-out single. Cooper didn't have as good of an outing against the Flames last time out, but he's doing very well, and he's also got a good cushion behind him from his team's offense. They've gotten 8 runs on 7 hits through the first 6 innings at the plate. The 1-1 misses well inside. Cherno doesn't move, and that one just barely misses his feet, so the count's 2 balls and a strike to him. Brian Hart, the left fielder tonight, waiting on deck. The 2-1 fastball misses outside, so 3 balls and a strike to Cherno, a true hitter's count for him. Cherno, one of the more successful hitters, hitting above 300 this season as the 3-1 skied foul down the left side out of play. So the count moves to full 3-2 here. Cooper in a better position now with the full count. Has had a good bit of luck in 3-2 counts with hitters so far tonight. And the 3-2 is driven right field and deep. Taking a few steps back on that one is Matt Elliott, and he makes a leaping over-the-shoulder basket catch out in right field to retire Cherno for the first out. Some stellar legwork out there from Matt Elliott, tracking that one down at least 60 feet on the ground and making an over-shoulder basket catch a la Willie Mays out there in the right center field gap to set Cherno down. And so 1 away here for Brian Hart, who is 0 for 2 on the night with a double play and a fly out to center to his name. First pitch to him is a breaking ball, misses outside, count 1-0. Hart making his first appearance in the outfield tonight as the 1-0 misses outside. Count now 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 count here to Brian Hart. Fastball's ripped on the ground down the third base line under the glove of Doherty, and that gets through for a base hit. Hart's rounding first, and he's going for 2. The throw in from left field is not in time, And Brian Hart's in there with a stand-up double with one away. An extra base hit with one away certainly helps the Flames, gets a runner in scoring position, allows them a chance to chip back at this lead, and now Mike Netzel will come up for his third plate appearance. Has struck it out in both of his appearances so far. The last time up, he thought he saw ball 4. The home plate umpire disagreed, and after taking a few steps towards first and tossing his bat towards the dugout, he had to walk back to the dugout as a called strike 3 was past him. The first pitch to him is also a called strike on the bottom third of the plate, and the count's 0-1. Brian Hart on second base with a big lead. A few stolen bases for him on the season. Anticipate aggressive base path approach. That one just misses hitting Mike Netzel on the inside corner. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. A couple pitches that have come close to wearing Onondaga Flames players, but both seemingly missing just by inches. That one ripped right back up the middle. A diving stop by Nate Cormier and an easy toss to first for out number 2. Brian Hart advances to third, but Nate Cormier continuing his stellar defensive performance with his second diving stop and throw out over there at second base. That brings up Cullen Matthews with 2 away, and now a runner on third base for the Flames 90 feet from scoring. First pitch to Matthews, a fastball cut on and missed outside, and the count's 0-1. A big hack there from Cullen Matthews shooting for the fences. Matthews 1 for 2 on the night, a ground out to second and a single to his name so far. Cooper from the windup, the 0-1. Breaking ball misses low and away, so the count's evened up at a ball in the strike as the Flames trying to get another run around here, down 8-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning with a runner on third and 2 away. A 1-1 count to Matthews. The pitch, a fastball catches the lower outside corner. Matthews didn't like that call. He'll step out of the box to take some time, and the count's 1-2. So Matthews back in the box, regular defensive positioning with 2 away, and Cooper deals the 1-2. Breaking ball again misses in the opposite batter's box. Strochan has to leap a little bit of a ways to keep that one in front of him and prevent Hart on third from scoring. So the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cooper still has a ball to work with against the righty. The 2-2 is cut on and missed on the outside corner. Cullen Matthews is set down for the final out of the 6th inning. So no runs, 1 hit. No run man left on base. At the end of 6 innings of play, it is 8-1, the Silversmiths lead.
Welcome back here in the top of the 7th inning. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Brandon Ross to give you the 7th and the 8th inning. Change has been made for the Flames as now Jake Griffin is on the mound for the Flames see how he can do. My roommate, hopefully he does well on the mound. First pitch misses outside for ball one against Chris Turco. Coming into this ball game, Griffin has a 5.71 ERA in 17 and a third innings pitched. The second pitch misses outside for ball two. But Jake Griffin has 23 strikeouts, which is good for third on the team. Tied for third on the team with Mike Netzel. As that pitch misses outside, now the count goes to 3-0. Not the best start here for Jake Griffin, but Flames are just trying to hold on to this where it is, and 4 straight balls from Griffin. Turco reaches on a walk. Not the start that you want to have if you're Jake Griffin, but I'm not 100% on this, but I'm at least 75% sure about this. I think Jake has been under the weather over the last couple of days. He hasn't seemed himself. That's back in the dorms, but hopefully he's feeling a little bit better to be out on the mound. But he surrenders a walk to Chris Turco to give the Silversmiths another base runner, and this is going to be Robert Armitage. First pitch is in the dirt for ball one. Armitage is 2 for 3 on the night, has scored a run as well in this ball game. This pitch from Griffin missing low, and just like that, it's 6 straight balls to start Jake Griffin's night. Runner on first base is Chris Turco. The 2-0 from Griffin, cut on and missed, making Robert Armitage look foolish as he almost stumbles and falls, but he's able to save himself. Beautiful pitch there from Jake Griffin. Hopefully that will get him back into a groove. 2 balls, 1 strike is the count here on the shortstop, Robert Armitage. This pitch misses in the turf, and we're going to go to a 3-1 count here on Robert Armitage. Armitage has had a pretty successful season coming into this ball game. One of the better batters on this club as he came into this one batting at .338. The 3-1. Breaking ball missing high. Looked like it was in the zone for sure, but it's going to be back-to-back walks surrendered by Jake Griffin to start the top of the 7th inning, and Silversmiths could score 10 runs now with the runners on first and second base. This is Matt Fitzgerald, the designated hitter. He will be digging his spikes into the batter's box now as Trace Peterson goes to have a word with his pitcher. Jake will be the third pitcher on the mound for the Flames, trying to at least finish up this inning, probably go into the 8th and the 9th as well, see if he can get out of the jam though. No outs here. Runners on first and second. Matt Fitzgerald, he was 1 for 3 on the night, trying to add to the lead with a runner in scoring position. The first pitch misses outside for ball one. So 1-0 count here on Fitzgerald, the Utica College product. Not too far away from here, about 45 minutes down the road. The 1-0 inside, but too far inside, and the count goes to 2-0 here on Griffin. Griffin's the sidearm pitcher out of Johns Hopkins University, trying to find his rhythm on the mound. He's only thrown 1 strike so far through 3 batters. This pitch driven down the right field line, but it's foul, and the count goes to 2-1 on Matt Fitzgerald. But the Flames have been in quite the rut so far in this ball game, giving up 6 runs in the top of the 2nd inning, 2 more in the 4th, and it's 8-1. This one's driven out into right center field. Colin Matthews is going to get an arm on it, and he's going home and scoring easily as Chris Turco, as it looks like Colin Matthews hesitated to get that ball in, and just like that, it's 9-1 now. Silversmiths lead the Flames.
This is really getting out of hand here for the Onondaga Flames. It's now 9-1, an 8-run difference between these two teams. This ball game is almost over, essentially. The Flames would have to cast a monumental comeback here in these last 3 innings.
And Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like Colin Matthews just held on to the ball too long.
Well, he probably thought he wasn't getting a good grip on it, and so he didn't want to make an errant throw, which could have made it worse.
Very true. That first pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. This is Matt Krause, who is in the batter's box for Sherrill. He's reached on base every single time he's been up, but he hasn't registered a at-bat because he's reached on 2 errors and a walk so far. So he's 0 for 1 now, it's a 1-1 count now for Matt Krause. Runners on first and second, no outs here. This pitch misses way outside, and Jake Griffin's struggles continue here for the Flames as he's yet to really find a rhythm on the mound. 2 balls, 1 strike, runners on first and second with no outs here. The 2-1. Cut on and miss from Matt Krause, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Sherrill has already added another run to their lead. It's now 9-1 over the Flames. Trying to get out of the jam as Jake Griffin used a 2-2. It's going to miss outside. Count goes to full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Griffin still yet to collect an out here in the top of the 7th inning. Trace Peterson gives him the sign, and here's the 3-2 payoff. This one cut on and missed, and there's strikeout victim number 1 on the evening for Jake Griffin. That's exactly how you get back into a rhythm as a pitcher.
You know, a strikeout there means a lot to you. You get your rhythm back, and you can really worry a little bit less of those runners behind you because now the double play opportunity is available. So ground out to the infield could end this inning.
Let's see if it does. Alex Stroshine will be the next batter that Griffin will face. He's 0 for 2 on the evening. First pitch in there for strike 1. He did reach on a walk back in the 2nd inning, came around to score one of the 9 runs for the Silversmiths in this ball game. But 0-1 count here on the catcher, trying to solidify himself in that role. That curveball is going to be in there for strike 2, and now Griffin looks to be back to his regular self as he's thrown back-to-back strikes.
That was a very sharp curve, though, from Griffin. That looked like it was behind Stroshine for a good while.
Sure did. This pitch is exactly the same behind him, but then comes back into curve into the strike zone, and there's strikeout victim number 2. Strikes out looking at Stroshine, and just like that, Jake Griffin has 2 runners on base, but he gets back-to-back strikeouts, and they're 2 away here in the top of the 7th.
Another sharp curveball. Griffin's breaking stuff is working for him now. That one, a very steep curve.
Absolutely. As that first pitch against Matthew Elliott misses outside for ball 1.
Being a sidearmer, Griffin has sort of a sweeping curve. That one looked like it went straight 9-3.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even have any dip to it. It just went way out from where it's originally positioned.
The 1-0. Curveball, again, it's going to be in there for a strike. That one started in the outside batter's box, but then curved back in. He's really starting to find some rhythm with the breaking pitches. Let's see if he keeps going to it. 1-1 is your count here with 2 away. This one cut on back towards the screen, and the count now goes to 1-2. Jake Griffin looking to get the 3 outs here in the top of the 7th inning right in a row as he struck out Matt Krause and Alex Stroshine, now in position to do the same with right fielder Matthew Elliott.
It's not uncommon for pitchers to stick with pitches that are working for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he went with 3 straight curveballs.
This one is going to be a fastball, and it's going to miss the outside of the zone. Count goes to 2-2. Let's see if he goes back to the curveball, though, because it seems to be working in his favor. Runners on first and second for the Silversmiths. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Here's the 2-2 from Griffin. This one cut on and missed, and just like that, Jake Griffin surrenders a walk, back-to-back walks for some base runners, and a hit, and then strikes out 3 straight Silversmiths. Flames trail Sherrill 9-1 here going into the bottom of the 7th inning. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning here at OCC Stadium. Trace Peterson will lead things off for the Flames as they trail 9-1 as he takes a step out of the batter's box for a timeout. Now is set Ryan Cooper with the pitch. This one popped up. Turco taking a couple of steps underneath it, and he's going to collect out number 1 in his glove. So just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out for the Silversmiths. A.J. DiFilippo would have been the next batters up, but Jared Groskuth has subbed into the ball game for him. So Jared Groskuth trying to get things going here for the Flames as they trail 9-1 now, 8-run deficit. First pitch for Groskuth, cut on and missed for strike 1. But the Flames haven't trailed like this in quite some time. They've been on a 5-game win streak coming into this ball game. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to get that 6th win as they trail late in the ball game here. This pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike on Groskuth. Rhode Island Community College product playing third base here as he subbed in for DiFilippo, who's made a couple of errors in the ball game. This pitch from Cooper is going to bounce in the turf for ball 2. Count goes to 2-1 on Groskuth. But Groskuth still trying to find his rhythm as well, as he has hit a couple of home runs this season, but unable to find any rhythm at the plate. This pitch cut on foul down the right field line. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jared Groskuth. Cooper gets the sign here from Stroshine, and here it is. This one cut on and missed, and just like that, 2 up, 2 down for Ryan Cooper. That's going to be strikeout victim number 6 on the evening for him, and he's pitched a gem so far in this ball game.
Jared Groskuth goes down on strikes. That's now his 6th strikeout of the game. Cooper's shutting down this Flames lineup, pure and simple.
Absolutely, Brandon. And here's Corbin Paxton, the first baseman, trying to get himself his second hit of the ball game. First pitch from Cooper in there for strike 1. Back in the 5th inning, ripped a double, then reached third base on the throw. But he did come around to score the lone run for the Flames, as that pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. So he's 1 for 2 on the evening. Ryan Cooper and Stroshine working together. Here's the 1-1 from them. This pitch misses low for ball 2. Count goes to 2-1 on Corbin Paxton, the Lake Erie product as well, teammate of Trace Peterson. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 away, and the Silversmiths are working quickly. This pitch, same exact location. It's going to miss low again. Count goes to 3-1 here on Paxton. Flames trying to get their first base winner here of the bottom of the 7th inning, as the first 2 batters went down 1-2. The 3-1 from Cooper, way outside, and just like that, Corbin Paxton's going to reach on a walk. So not a pretty solid night for Paxton so far in the ball game.
Paxton drawing a walk there after reaching on a double back in the 5th and coming around to score the only run of the ball game so far for the Flames.
Yes, sir. And here's Mike Ruggiero. He had the RBI, the lone RBI in the ball game, as he had the RBI ground out to his name. First pitch from Cooper, though, going right back to work. That's strike 1, as Ruggiero watches the fastball blow by. And Cooper, he doesn't have the hardest fastball in the league, but he sure gets the job done for the Silversmiths, as that pitch is going to miss low for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 away. Runner on first is Corbin Paxton. Here's the 1-1. This one going to hit the same location one more time. Count goes to 2-1 here on Mike Ruggiero. Plays his college ball at Wagner. Let's see if they can drive another run and make this a respectful ball game, as it's 9-1 now, trying to cut into the lead. This pitch misses outside, and Cooper is starting to lose a little bit of grip on that fastball. Count goes to 3-1 now. But this is a Flames team that's faced adversity several times this season, but probably none like tonight's, as trailing 8-0 early on in the ball game, and then with head coach Mike Cordero being ejected, this team has really been behind the 8 ball since the jump. 3-1's the count. Here's Cooper with the delivery, missing high, and just like that, back-to-back walks with 2 away. Flames have a couple of base runners and now trying to drive them home. Someone who's very familiar at getting RBIs, it's McLean O'Connor.
McLean O'Connor had an RBI triple to bring in the game-winning run last night.
Sure did. And his time is called, as I'm not sure if Ryan Cooper's night's over. There is someone warming up in the bullpen for the Silversmiths, but it's too dark over there to tell what jersey number he has on. It could be just a brief chat, as Cooper is yet to really struggle tonight in the ball game, only surrendering the 1 run. He has given up 6 hits, but it's really the Flames have just, haven't been able to find a rhythm, and they've committed a couple of errors as well that didn't help them out. Cooper's going to stay in the ball game. But McLean O'Connor trying to keep his hot night going. He's 2 for 3 on the ball game. Been stranded on base once as he was thrown out at second back in the third inning. Let's see if McLean can give the Flames another run in the ball game. As Cooper tries to calm down on the mound as he's been struggling a little bit walking his last 2 batters. As Cooper gets the sign from Stroshine. Here's the first pitch against McLean O'Connor. It's going to miss high and outside for ball 1. But McLean trying to do his thing with Mike Ruggiero on first base. Corbin Paxton out there on second. The 1-0. This one in there, just hitting the outside corner. Count evens up at a ball and a strike here on the leadoff hitter and shortstop for the ball game. Cooper gets the sign one more time from Stroshine. Here it is. This one chopped right back. This should be easy pickings for Cormier. It could be the final out, and it will be the final out of the inning. So the Flames strand another runner on base and unable to add another run to their lead. We're going to step aside on team line. Welcome back to the top of the 8th inning here on Team Line. Nate Cormier will get the top of the 8th inning going here for the Sherrill Silversmiths as they have a commanding 9-1 lead, and time is called as a pitching change has been made for the Onondaga Flames. It's now Chris Burnett on the mound. See if he can get the job done. He's made a couple appearances this season so far, but he's still trying to find his rhythm on the mound. He's appeared in 8 games, pitched 9 complete innings so far, 13 strikeouts, only surrendering 3 runs. He has a 3.00 ERA. But this is Nate Cormier, the second baseman, who has an RBI to his name in the ball game, but he is he's 0 for 2. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. But Nate Cormier trying to add to the hitting party here, trying to get his first to the ball game, as he is yet to register that. Burnett gets the sign from Peterson, delivers the heat, and that's a strike. And Burnett, I mean, this guy has an unusual windup, but man, he can deliver a heck of a fastball when he's on the mound, and he throws into the low 90s. So 1 ball, 1 strike. This one chopped foul back towards us. And count goes to 1-2 here on Chris Burnett. Burnett has only surrendered 3 walks as well and 3 earned runs, but has given up 2 doubles. But, I mean, it's tough to hit that fastball. Probably one of the hardest throwing pitchers in the league, in the NYCBL, that is. The 1-2. Fastball just getting a piece of it to stay alive is Cormier, and we'll do the 1-2 dance one more time here at OCC Stadium. But if you're just joining us here in the top of the 8th inning, Flames have had some extra fireworks left over from the 4th of July as they were set off here because the Flames trailed 9-1. You know, head coach Mike Cordero was ejected earlier in the ball game, and it's just unfortunate. But this pitch is going to be driven down the right field line, and it's going to go foul. So we'll do the 1-2 count one more time. But, you know, the Flames teams has faced adversity in many parts of the season so far, but unable to really get any sort of rhythm going at the plate, and on defense just surrendering way too many runs as the score is 9-1. This one chopped down the first base line, and Corbin Paxson will say, I can do it myself, as he gets out number 1 with a U3, bringing up the center fielder, Reese Armitage. Let's see what Reese Armitage has in store for the Cheryl Silversmiths as they still have a commanding lead. Burnett gets the sign from Peterson, and he's thinking about what pitch to throw. And after getting the sign from Robert Anders to Trace Peterson, here's the first pitch. Fastball missing high for ball 1. It's Reese Armitage in the batter's box. Reese has an RBI double to his name back in the 4th inning. He reached on a walk back in the 6th. But other than that, he's 1 for 3 on the evening so far. Not too shabby from the center fielder. Burnett gets the sign from Peterson, and here's the 1-0. This one cut on right to Jared Groskuth at third base. Couple of steps and fires it over to first for out number 2. So just like that, Flames work quickly here. 1-2 up, 1-2 down for the Flames. Now it's Sean Doherty up to bat for the Silversmiths as he has had an eventful night. 2 RBIs, to his name so far in the ball game. So he is 1 for 3 on the night. Had a sac fly RBI back in the 4th for his second RBI of the ball game. First pitch is going to be some heat from Chris Burnett. Missing inside, though, for ball 1. Jake Griffin came out, pitched 1 inning, did his part, collected the 3 outs. 3 straight strikeouts was the way that Jake Griffin collected those outs. This pitch driven down the right field line, foul. Count goes to 1-1 here on Sean Doherty. Doherty playing third base for the Silversmiths here this evening. And the Flames are on the other side of a blowout, as on Monday they were able to absolutely annihilate the Silversmiths in a 5-inning rain delay or rain postponed game, I guess you can say, or rain finalized game. That pitch in there for strike 2, but the Flames were able to finish that game in 5, and now here against Sherrill, they're unable to find any sort of rhythm. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. Let's see if Sean Doherty can get it done for Sherrill or if Chris Burnett can collect a strikeout. And he will. Swing and a miss for Sean Doherty. And there's out number 3. So Chris Burnett works 1, 2, 3. No hits, no runs, no errors, and no runners left on base as we step aside for the bottom of the 8th inning here on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium here in the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Morgan Chapman to provide you the bottom of the 8th inning here. Pitching changes were made for the Cheryl Silversmiths. That's Wesley Leahy, number 14 on the mound here. Let's see if he can provide a much-needed spark. The Flames need the much-needed spark, not the Silversmiths. They've had the spark behind them all night long. It's been 9-1 ever since the 7th inning here. But some conversations are being had between the head coach for Cheryl and the first base umpire. And now Robert Anders is going to try to get in on the conversation, see what's going on, as some complaints have been made. Could be about the bat that Cherno's using, maybe, or I'm not sure. Time's going to be called here, and we'll be under play or back under play here in a few seconds. Dark skies here at OCC Stadium, and I don't just mean because it's nighttime. It looks like some nasty clouds are out there covering the sky, so could be a couple hours away from a thunderstorm here. It looks like some heat lightning is out in the distance. Robert Anders trying to make a read on what's going on out there. And I think the Flames might have called it quits. I think the Flames may have shut this game down. Unless it's the weather that I was thinking, but it might be the weather, or trying to get a feel for what's going on. It could be the weather, or I think they might call the game. So if that is the final, the Silversmiths are going to walk out of here with a 9-1 victory. But let me just wait and see if we get clarification what's going on. He might have looked at the radar and saw it's going to get nasty here in a second. Maybe they wanted to call it quits before they sit out here in the rain, but we'll see. So welcome back here to OCC Stadium. The debate right now is between whether or not to call this ball game, as some lightning has been going off. So we'll see if this is under delay or if it's called here for officially. It looks like the Flames, the guys are just hanging out. So it's just delayed due to lightning. We'll see if the Flames can get back underway, but we'll keep you updated on Facebook as some really nasty lightning strikes are off in the distance. But we'll get you updated on Facebook whether the game is canceled or not. I'll hop back on and get you an update, but we're going to step aside for a quick break right here on Team Line.